Welcome to the point of view. It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE8, aka 13 Wonder of the World. Happy Halloween to everybody. A happy trick or trunk, whatever you want to call it, on this day. Uh, it is October the 31st at 10:41 p.m. as we get ready to exit out of October and enter into November. It's your boy Mike D, aka DDE8, aka 13 One of the World, aka Mike DZ. Shout out to the Point Place family. Shout out to Bobby Reezy, of course. Shout out to the whole Point Place family. Shout out to M Breezy. Shout out to Naya. Shout out to my sister. I love all y'all. Thank y'all for listening on the Point of View, which is on YouTube right now. I'm going to try to get it back on the Podbeam app again. I was supposed to come on yesterday, but some things happened. But I just ask you to keep me in prayer as I try to get stronger and stronger from this situation I'm going through right now. It's a real tough situation. Actually, it's really not that tough. I consider it, the Bible said God won't put nothing more on you that you can bear. So, I'm bearing it. I'm taking up that cross and trying to live the right way and do the right thing, you know what I'm saying? But keep your boy in prayer, man, as he get through this rehabilitation of his leg. That's what I'm going through right now. So keep me in prayer as I try to get stronger and stronger with this. Basically, I want to just talk about last night's AEW, which a lot of people probably watched. A lot of people didn't watch. But I'm going to go over it for a little bit, talk about it for a few minutes. Then I'll get into some sports. I also talk about the Dodgers winning the World Series in New York over the Yankees. Won the thing 4-1. I think they won it in 5 games. Freddie Freeman, who was dealing with an injury, was the World Series MVP. This is his second World Series, as well as Mookie's. A couple of other guys that's on that team, I think, have won a World Series. Well, I keep saying Super Bowl, but World Series as well. I know this is Freddie Freeman's second one. I know this is Mookie's second one. And I think Will Smith was on the first one 4 years ago when they won. Good series for them. The Yankees played as hard as they could, but they just didn't have enough. Aaron Judge did not play like the starter he was. I'm gonna be honest with you. He started showing up a little bit in that game and the game before that, but he was kind of a no-show in the World Series. A lot of people think Soto's going to leave the Yankees. They did get him last season, and they think that he's possibly going to be gone. If he decides to leave New York, where do you think he should go? I say go to the Braves, because Acuna Jr. is going to be ready next season. Asuna's going to be ready. Those guys are going to be ready, the ones that are out there for the Braves. I would love to see him with the Braves. I would love to see him with the Astros. But a lot of people think he could possibly be going to the Dodgers. If the Dodgers get Soto to go along with Showtime and Mookie and Freddie Freeman, then they're going to be back-to-back World Series champs. That's too much firepower, man. That's just too much firepower. But congratulations to them. I just wanted to talk about that before I talk about AEW. Let's talk about AEW for a minute. The rumors are true. Bobby Lashley has now became a member of the AEW roster. He attacked Swerve Strickland, so I guess they're going to pump up a match between him, Lashley versus Strickland. That's going to be good. It's going to be a hell of a match. I think in my books, I think that Bobby's probably going to go over on Swerve, because Swerve went over on Shelton last night. And it's going to be interesting to see where this storyline goes with Shelton Benjamin with Swerve Strickland and Bobby Lashley. We saw that the Private Party became the tag team champions. Long time coming, but they did it. And the Young Bucks are now not going to be on camera for a while. What's going to happen is, and I'll say this, I think they're going to come back and they're going to save the day against Moxley and his crew. I think that he's going to be along with, when I mean he, I'm talking about the Young Bucks. I think not he, but they are going to team up with him, which is OC Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, who I think could possibly turn heel. I think you're going to see a lot of those guys fight against Moxley's crew, and I think they're going to be the ones that take them out. The Young Bucks are injured. One of the Young Bucks are injured, and that's the reason why they made the switch to put the titles on them. And it was a good move by AEW. It was also a good move for Camille to lose to Chris Stanlander. And don't get me wrong, that was the right move by them to take the undefeated record and take it off of Camille and let Stanlander be the one to beat her. Just like Stanlander was the first person to beat Jade Cargill when she was leaving AEW. See, Chris Stanlander has defeated two people in AEW. Jade Cargill was one, and Camille is the second. Now, will she beat Mercedes Moné? Could possibly. Could possibly. They're breaking the bank on her. I think, it's a smart move by them. We see Kyle Fletcher. I don't really want to talk about him. I just don't. I don't get what kind of story he's going through. I think it's going to be him against Will Ospreay soon. What's going to happen now? I think the only two members left of the Elite is the Rainmaker and Jack Perry. So if they start losing their titles, then we already know what time it is. So we'll see what happens with that as the story goes on with that. It's going to be interesting, man. AEW is trying to make their show interesting. They're trying to make it like, it is what it is. They're trying to make people watch it. And they have some interesting shows and some interesting matchups and rivalries on there. Also, the matchup with Hangman and Jay White is going to be great. It's going to be a great matchup. I would like to see whoever wins that match contend for a title. That's what I would want to see that, because it's time for both Hangman Page and Jay White to be in some type of title contention. They need to be contending for a title. They need to be contending for something that can help them elevate their career more. That's just my thought on that. Also, with the other situation, it's going to be Adam Cole versus Malachi Black. I think that's going to be a great matchup. I think that is a pay-per-view type match that you're going to get to see on national television, because of the simple fact that you can put Malachi Black versus Adam Cole at any pay-per-view. It does not matter if it's WWE, AEW, Ring of Honor, or wherever. or any independent show or spot or wherever they have them, man, you could put them at a fairground. I guarantee you that will be a great matchup. One of the best matches right there. Malachi Black versus Adam Cole, baby. It's going to be interesting to see that match next week on AEW, man. Real interested to see that happen. That's just what I see right now happening with AEW. Tomorrow SmackDown comes on. I probably won't do a show on that because of the fact that it's going to be taped. Everybody knows what's going to possibly happen on there, as they are already getting ready for to be in Saudi Arabia for Crown Jewel. I will give my two predictions on these two matches right now. Liv Morgan versus Nia Jax. I don't think Nia Jax is going to win. I think Liv Morgan's going to win that because of the simple fact that they're riding Liv Morgan a little higher than they're doing Nia Jax. I think that Tiffany Stratton could become the SmackDown Women's Champion at Crown Jewel. And I think that she could possibly knock Nia Jax away from winning what she got. That's just my opinion. But my theory is I think that Liv Morgan will become the champion, the women's champion of champions. She will be the Crown Jewel champion. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see that. It's going to be interesting to see the matchup between Cody and Gunther. Now, with that, it's a possibility that Gunther wins. It's a strong possibility that Gunther wins that match, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. Cody has already made it to the mountaintop. Putting that belt on Cody, in my opinion, I think that he doesn't need it. He doesn't need that because he's already over. What they're trying to do is build Gunther to be one of the best pure wrestlers in the business. See, Gunther needs an accolade like that. And I know everybody's saying, man, he just won the King of the Ring in the summer. He just won at SummerSlam to become the world champion. Yes, but putting that title on him, making the champion of champions, is what he's going to like. I'm telling you guys right now, Cody does not need that. I think KO causes Cody that match. I think KO will be the reason why he loses. Now, if Gunther loses, there's a possibility. They say that Bill Goldberg's not going to be there, but they're trying to book a match between Goldberg and Gunther for Survivor Series, just like they had a match with CM Punk, and that's just hearsay rumors. But that could possibly happen, folks. It could possibly happen where you see CM Punk against Gunther or you see Goldberg against Gunther at the Survivor Series. So nobody knows yet. But if Cody was to win that, it would be because of one of those guys interfering in a match. It wouldn't be because of that, because of him not winning. It would be because of that, because of the interference. There's not going to be a clean victory in that match. In either championship matches, the one with the women and the one with the guys, it's not going to be a clean victory. Excuse me. It's not going to be a clean victory at all. It's going to be some interference somewhere that's going to make that person wins. It got to be. It got to be interesting. Nobody wants to see a straight up match like that. There's not going to be a straight up win between Liv and Nia Jax. If Nia Jax lose, it's going to be because of either Tiffany Stratton, it's either going to be because of Raquel Rodriguez, or it's going to be because of Liv Morgan doing something, or Dom Mysterio doing some old fluky stuff to cause them to lose, cause Nia Jax to lose. But if Nia Jax was to win, it would be because of Rhea Ripley. But here's the thing. Rhea Ripley is injured. So there's a possibility she will probably not going to be at Crown Jewel. And she's supposed to be booked for a tag match, a 5-woman's tag match on NXT next Wednesday at the ECW arena. But I don't know who is she going to be there or not. They're going to have to figure out who's going to be the next partner for her. I don't know who that's going to be. Who do you get out there? Who do you get to team up with them? That's going to be a mystery. And that's going to be interesting. Those are my predictions on Crown Jewel. I do think that they have a chance to actually make it a great pay-per-view. We're going to see the old bloodline, the OG bloodline, against the new bloodline as well. And I think if you want to continue the story at Survivor Series the way you want it to be, let the new bloodline win that match, which means either Jimmy Uso gets pinned or Jey Uso gets pinned by Solo because of Jacob Fatu. That's the way I see it. I think Jacob Fatu costs Roman Reigns, Jimmy and Jey Uso, the Usos, the match against Solo, Tama Tonga, and Tonga Loa. Because those are going to be the guys that are going to be in the match. Jacob Fatu's not going to be in that match, folks. It's going to be the former tag team champions and Solo against Roman Reigns and the Usos. That's what's going to happen. Now, let me ask you this. How long does Jey Uso stay on SmackDown? I'll tell you. Whenever this bloodline stuff is over, does Jimmy Uso come to Raw? What are they going to do on Raw? Are they going to go fight for the tag team titles? As much as fans want that, wouldn't they win the championship this time? There's not going to be a long year run with them if they win the tag team titles. It's not going to happen. What's going to happen is they're going to win the titles and they're going to lose them within a 2-3 month span. This is just my theory. Because nobody wants to see it's not about them anymore. And right now the Motor Machine Guns are the hottest thing on the SmackDown roster. I'm just going to be honest with you. I've complained about how they did LA Knight. I've complained about who should fight LA Knight now for the United States title. Do I think Carmelo and Andrade, they have a chance to be the United States champion at Crown Jewel, but I don't think they're going to win. I think LA Knight's going to win, and I think he goes up against a new competitor. Now, who's going to be that new competitor? Could you imagine if that new competitor to fight against LA Knight would be Jacob Fatu? Jacob Fatu would beat LA Knight. That would make LA Knight that would cool his jets. That would make him seem very, very touchable. You see what I'm saying? And while I'm saying this is what people, I have daily conversations about wrestling all the time. Me and Fade, shout out to Fadeaway, we talk about wrestling all the time. But I also talk to a lot of more people about wrestling. And that was a theory that came to me through the conversation that I had. Because that's what they said. They think that Jacob Fatu could fit the bill as the new United States champion. Yeah, he could. But do you think that's going to happen? No, I don't think it's going to happen because of the fact of the matter is because you want to keep riding that wave of LA Knight. You know what I'm saying? And you've got to put somebody in that ring with LA Knight that can match him. And I'm telling you guys, Shinsuke Nakamura could be that guy that matches LA Knight energy. And you talk about some great United States title matches, that's one of them right there. If you want him to be a buffer until you figure out what's the next move for LA Knight, because he's got to go up. He cannot stay stagnant. And right now, and I don't know why I got on the talk about LA Knight, but I'm going to talk about it because I've talked about it before. LA Knight, and this is a situation that I don't want to happen to him, but it could. LA Knight is in a position where he could be stagnant in his position on SmackDown. And I'm going to tell you why I'm saying this. They have not put him in too many matches on SmackDown. Since SmackDown came to USA, I think LA Knight has had like 1 or 2 matches. And I understand you're trying to save the United States champion, but you don't even put this man on your PLEs at times. Like, LA Knight has not been on a pay-per-view since SummerSlam. When Jey Uso won the title, he was not on any PLEs. And I'm trying to understand, why is that? I know that you're trying to shorten the matches so that you can have this over with before 10, 11 o'clock at night. Unless it's SummerSlam or WrestleMania. Yeah. But I think that the Intercontinental Champion and the United States Champion, along with the Tag Team Champions, should always be on a pay-per-view card. I know that you want to have a lot of grudge matches. No disrespect to the match between Randy Orton and KO. That is a great match to have on a PLE, because of the simple fact of the matter, you have 2 stars going at it against each other. You have the women's tag team titles in a fatal 4-way. That's great for business. I understand why they did it. They did it because they want to have, there was comments about black athletes and black wrestlers not being involved in PLEs like that. So that's why they did it. That's why they put them on there. Because they didn't want to, say anything and have a complaint about it. So that's exactly what it is, And of course you got the tag team, you got the Usos, another grudge match, the Usos and Roman Reigns against Solo and the Tongans. So that's another grudge match where no title's on the line. You have the Intercontinental Championship. You could have put Braun Breaker in a match against somebody, but you didn't do it. So, that's just, I don't understand. I understand the booking of what they're doing, but at times I don't understand it. Because I know that if I was a booker and I had a PLE, I'm putting all my champions on there. And I will have a grudge match. I would have at least 2 grudge matches. But all my champions are going to be on the PLE. That goes all the way from the Intercontinental Champion, the U.S. Champion, the Women's Champion, the Raw Women's Champion, the Women's Tag Team titles, champions, the Raw Tag Team titles, and the SmackDown Tag Team. All that be defended. That's like 5, 6 matches, but you can still have a grudge match. And I don't understand why they don't have the pre-show matches anymore. That's another thing I'm not understanding. AEW has, 2 or 3 even Impact, TNA Impact have, pre-show matches before the card, before they do they main, pay-per-view card, as well as AEW. It's just I don't understand it one bit. I don't get it. I tried to understand it, but I just don't understand it. That's just it's just tough. But this is the way of the business now. I still think you should have a television show that comes on Wednesday on television. That's just me. I just say that. That's just me. Because if I was to book it, I would have a wrestling show on each week. I would have one taped, yeah. But I know the fans would never get tired of watching wrestling. Just like they don't get tired of watching basketball. I don't get tired of watching football. And I'm switching gears here before I get back to wrestling. There's a lot of people that hate the Thursday night football games on Amazon because they say they be boring. Well, the last couple of games have been interesting, have been exciting. Just like tonight's game with the Jets beating the Texans, which I don't understand that one bit, because how do you let your quarterback get sacked 8 times? I think it was 8 sacks or something like that. I really didn't watch the game, but I think it was like 8 times CJ got sacked or something like that. You're not going to win a game being sacked like that. That's what happened to Burrow in the Super Bowl when they played the Rams, when they played Stafford in the Rams. The man got sacked like 9 times in a game. You're not going to win a game being sacked like that. Not 9 times, 8 times and all that. No. No, it's not going to happen. But a good win for Aaron Rodgers to get out of the fold of the funk of losing 5 in a row. Their season is still over. They're not going to run the table. Good move, Adams was more focused in the game, featured in the game and stuff like that. But I don't know what's going on with Houston. Houston's lost 2 games that they should have won. I'm just saying, man. They lost a game that they should have won. They should have beat the Jets tonight. There was a couple of more games they had lost. A game that they had lost that they should have won. But, it's any given Sunday, just like any given Thursday, And I'm talking about football here, but college football comes on now starting on Thursday. Not Thursday, but Tuesday, Tuesday night they have games. Wednesday, Thursday. Now tomorrow they're going to have a ranked team playing on Friday night. And then Saturday is the big kahuna, which is all day Saturday college all day. So, it is what it is. On to the NBA. And then I'll get back to wrestling. On to the NBA. Yes, the Lakers have lost 2 in a row. Yes, LeBron James played great last night, but he had 7 turnovers. Yes, they did lose in Cleveland. Yes, Bronny James scored his first bucket in the NBA. More proud of him. I'm proud that he got it, but I hate that they got blew out by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, I think they play Detroit next. I think the Lakers can beat Detroit because, once again, Detroit is a rebuilding team, even though they got guys like Tobias Harris, and Tim Hardaway Jr., cats like that can go out there and get you a bucket. But, man, the Lakers should win that game tomorrow. I think they play Detroit tomorrow, either Detroit or they play Toronto. Either one, they should be able to beat them. And, that's my thought on that there. I heard that Pablo's going to be out for a while. I think 4 to 6 weeks. That's going to be the Magic are going to have to figure out how to win without him. They have enough firepower, but they're gonna miss those. They're gonna miss those 30-something points he averaged a night. Um, that means that Suggs and Wendell Carter Jr. and Cole Anthony and all those boys, along with KCP, are just gonna and the Wagner brothers, they're gonna have to just step their game up and try to keep the Magic in the mix until he gets back. Milwaukee, I don't know what's going on with the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis played absolutely lights out tonight, but they got blew out by the Memphis Grizzlies. They were supposed to beat the Memphis Grizzlies tonight. Morant played absolutely phenomenal. Their team is just, even though they have a young team, Memphis, they're coming. Ja Morant is coming. I hate to tell people this. People that don't believe it, believe it. He's coming. He is coming, and everybody needs to know that he's coming because he's going to try to get those boys back into a high push for a playoff push, a high rank and a high standing for them to have a shot at the playoffs and a shot at the championship. That's just my thoughts on it. I'm just being honest with you. The Suns were in a dogfight with the Clippers. Clippers are doing okay without Kawhi Leonard. Shout out to B.Ray, that's his team. And, the NBA is like a weekend, but the NBA is phenomenal right now, man. There's guys that are winning games. Cat put up 40. Philadelphia, they lost. I just don't understand, Sometimes that's how it be in the league. On any given night, you can lose. Back to wrestling. Crown Jewel is going to be a great pay-per-view, guys. It's going to be interesting. Tomorrow on Peacock, they're going to have the press conference where they talk to everybody and things like that. I'll be back tomorrow to talk more sports with you guys. Until then, God bless you. God keep you. You guys have a great night. Pray for me. I'll pray for you. Keep your head up. Always remember, keep God first. I'm out.